Okay, I'm going to make this video fast, and I will get to the theme concerning the subject matter of this video as soon as I show you the date and time by showing you a video picture of my phone. Now the time on this phone is a little bit off because it is an unregistered phone, which means that it ran out of minutes and I haven't renewed it, and it's an older phone. I'm just using it right now for recording purposes, like the audio recorder in it. Anyways, you can see though the date is correct. Right now the time is at almost about 7:15 a.m. so this phone is about a half hour off in reference to its time. Now there's a feature in this phone called the voice command within the tools menu, which enables the phone to state the date and time electronically. Just listen.
Say a command. June 23rd, Monday, 6:44 a.m.
Now, I'll explain to you right now why I took a video picture of this phone and why I enabled the phone to state the date electronically by using the voice command feature within the tools menu. It's a track phone. The reason why I had to show you the date and time and use the phone to state the date and time is because this is a video prediction and it's going to be very, very, very short. Now, I'm showing you right now a specific area, okay, that you can see. Okay, as a result of me just showing you this one section of this area. You'll understand why I am in a second. And this area, which is where I'm hiking at, which I've been hiking at since late October 2012. And today, I've been hiking here since late October 2012. Today's date is June 23rd, 2014. Okay? Now, this hiking area has been given a code name and a code number attached to it in order to strategically and covertly and legally, within this code name and code number, it encompasses the actual name of this location. Okay, the code number is 20181515142603 or 2613-247-239. The code name is GILL times 2. I'm a woman, not a man. HA location. Now, you might think to yourself, okay, so far she's shown us the date, she's shown us the time, she's given us a code number and a code word in reference to the actual location of this hiking area being encompassed within the code number and code word. But we don't understand what she's talking about or why she's making this video yet. Well, here it goes. I am a target victim and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be called gang stalking. Gang stalking has been covered on the news, okay? And you can go to YouTube right now and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids in order to be able to literally witness a target of gang stalking being covered on the news. This is the audio of that video.
This story on our website, kcba.com. Houston police call it bullying on steroids. We're talking about gang stalking, but it actually has nothing to do with the gangs that you first think of. Southern Coast News reporter Candace Lynn learned more about the trend and how it's getting more dangerous because of the internet. It makes me so afraid.
Lawrence Casino claims his neighbors are gang stalking him because he plays loud music late at night and is outspoken. He said for the last year and a half he's been systematically followed by a group of people. At one point he said they climbed on his roof to harass him. Casino said he's developed a paranoia that's devastated his relationships with friends and, worst of all, family.
That's the worst part of it. If it was me, I would take action.
Santa Cruz Police Lieutenant Larry Richards said police are becoming more aware of gang stalking because of cyberbullying. But what is gang stalking? Basically, the victims could be driving their car or talking on their phones or walking the streets when a group of people try to systematically terrorize them. Richards said gang stalking is nothing new, but new technology is making it more common.
Gang stalking itself, they have elevated themselves to technology. So this is something that's been going on before the age of Facebook, Twitter, those other social websites. They just now have gone into those areas.
Casino said he's proof that the problem isn't just online and that it can hit too close to home, a home he plans on leaving because of gang stalking.
I want to be able to go to the tennis courts and play tennis or play ping pong without people following this everywhere. It's just nerve-wracking.
I'm Candace Wen in Salinas, your Central Coast News.
If found guilty of gang stalking, the person may face criminal, conspiracy, and stalking charges, all of which are felony charges in California.
Okay, now you just heard this news reporter state that the problem can hit too close to home, concerning how the neighbors were even brought on board in the gang stalking towards him, and then how he had to leave his home because of the gang stalking. And you heard the news reporter also state that the individual, the target of the crime, you know, the victim, could be walking, talking on their phone, walking down the street, or driving their car when a group of people attempt to systematically terrorize them. This is the audio about ready to hear right now is me walking down the street, okay, on a sidewalk, right across the street from this hiking area, okay, but right up the street on the sidewalk that is across the street. These two men are harassing me on Thanksgiving Day and threatening to physically assault me. And as they're doing it, guess what they're saying? Gang stalk. Gang stalking and gang stalking, I'm going to F you up. Now I'm going to actually have you witness it right now by playing you the audio of that event, because as the event was unfolding, I had a running recording digital tape recorder recording everything that was happening, and I transferred the pertinent section, the relevant section of that harassment to my phone, so I could play it on the fly to police officers without having to go and dig out separate tape recorders in order to find the audio file that it was caught on. So just listen to how they're saying it, and I'll tell you why they're saying it in a minute.
Right here. Shut up. There's something wrong. Wait on it. Wrong? Hey, security wrong. Wrong, man. There's something wrong. Carl. No. Get the fuck on. There's something wrong, Carl.
Okay, now again, I stated at the beginning of this video that this was going to be a short video. Now, I'm hiking in California as a result of my rent being stolen out of the mail. Go to Google and type in organized stalking and or gang stalking and mail theft and mail delayment. And then in a separate search, type in organized stalking and or gang stalking and postal workers. Now, when you cross-reference those employment descriptions and that tactic to gang stalking, you'll clearly be able to see that that is one of the methodologies they use to create the homelessness of a target. They will also gang stalk targets to apartment buildings. That's right, motel rooms. That's right. Now, this is organized crime in the system that's perpetrating these criminalities. That's why they're able to get away with so much, because they're not only using their employment descriptions like police officers, prosecutors, judges, members in the DA's office, and more, okay? This is one of the reasons why they're able to use their employment descriptions to influence anybody to do anything for them based on creative techniques, okay, that come from and work with the influence of how these employment descriptions and techniques are used to get the cooperation of anybody in the community. Business owners, including motels, apartment managers and property owners of apartment buildings, you name it. The point I'm trying to make in this particular video, this is a prediction video, and when I first turned on this video to start to make it, I did not realize, because whenever I make a video, I tape record it, my tape recorder wasn't on. So I'm going to have to just break my statements for a second in order to use this phone again, so the tape recorder will be able to see that these prediction statements were made on this date. Hold on.
Say your command. June 23rd, Monday, 6:52 a.m.
Okay, now, the reason why I am making this video is this is a video prediction. That gang stalking bullying on steroids news broadcast that you just heard the audio of, I found out a few months ago that they ended up making that guy homeless. Making a targeted individual homeless is a huge motivation that they have for the gang stalking target, because organized stalking and gang stalking is nothing but a type of crime that has multiple different criminal motivations that they have for the target. They believe as a result of making the target destitute, it brings them closer to the original motivation of why the campaign was initiated to begin with: exploitation. These criminal motivations are, but not limited to, human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, and men can be human trafficked, make no mistake about it, because in human trafficking rings and sexual servitude rings, there are a lot of homosexuals in them as well. Pornography, voyeurism, and then there's all the other different kinds of crime. I'm just going to mention a few right now. Land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, identity theft. Mortgage co-opting is where they will create the unemployment of the breadwinner of the family through covertly blacklisting them from employment, causing them to lose their current job, blacklisting them from future employment, and then other techniques that are brought about towards the couple. Like if the breadwinner has a spouse, they will attempt to break them apart. Okay, the whole goal for them is to cause them to lose the home that equity has already been accumulated in. That way, that individual will not be able to save the home, and the bank, okay, or whoever else will eat the equity that's already been paid. Okay, mortgage co-opting. Okay, now they are into land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft, human trafficking, insurance fraud concerning medical insurance and mental, for medical benefits, medical services and mental services. You would not believe what I know. Now, I'm at an area right now where I've already given you the code number and code name that describes the actual physical location. One of the individuals that you just heard that played a role in this organized stalking, gang stalking, harassment, and threats of me on the sidewalk, it was directly connected to the individuals that they had set up in early November of 2012 to hike out about 150 feet away from me. And they harassed me day and night from a distance, okay? Day and night, all the way up until about 5 weeks ago when they moved out, and they didn't even move far. They actually just moved 300 feet away from me on the other side. That's right. And they have literally come back down up and through here on several occasions since. And they have literally engaged in gang stalking of me out and about in the community, like at Ralph's grocery store, on my way to bus stops. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is as follows. This is a prediction video, and I am predicting that they will may attempt to, or will bring about the theft or damage of any property. When I leave here for the day to go about my day, I gotta leave this tent erect, or even if I took it down and hit it, okay? But what I do is I leave this tent erect, and I also have other property that is hidden close by out of sight. One of the main methodologies of gang stalking is to attempt to take syndicated probate control of the target by claiming the target cannot take care of themselves because they're homeless, while they're claiming they're being stalked by people they don't know, which means that they're homeless probably because of a mental illness. And they make these kinds of falsified statements in their doctor reports and in their police reports after staged events. Okay, because they got to have a reason for the police to come to the physical proximity of the target. I'll explain that in a fast second. What I'm trying to say is that in order to try to attempt to get this syndicated probate illegal control, okay, which is made to look legal in the courts, is by claiming the target is mentally ill, and as a result, they can't take care of themselves because they're homeless. Now, I already know how my rent was stolen. I already know what I experienced in the last apartment complex that I was living in. That's right. That's right. That's right. Now, since I can't prove the entire bit of it, because gang stalking techniques are designed to be hard to prove, they are also designed to apply plausible deniability to any complaints that the target has about the facts and the truth concerning what's happening to them. The whole goal is basically to covertly perpetrate their crimes, to overtly bring them about through normal appearing means and mishaps, like, oh, well, the rent just got lost in the mail, we can't help that. Bullshit. Because you cannot lose mail that was mailed, certified mail return receipt. Now, the point I'm trying to make is this. What they will basically do is literally try to bait the target to call the police. If you came home today and noticed that your apartment or your house or your car was broken into and things were stolen, what's your first reflex? To call the police. Well, I'm homeless. If they come down up in here and damage my tent or steal any of my property, including the tent, And what I meant by stealing my property, that means property that's hidden close by. They believe that that will infuriate me enough to call the police. Now, my phone is hacked. Phone calls are appearing on this phone, which is an older phone, and now on my new one. Who's calling my phone? Okay? Now, they know when I'm calling 911. They also know that when they've stole something, and then since I'm gang stalked along all my routes, they know where I'm at in real time at all times. This phone can be used as a GPS tracker. So when they see I got off a bus and I'm heading towards this location, they know it's just going to be a matter of minutes before I come home and discover something's damaged or stolen. They then will monitor this phone to see if I call 911, and if I do, they will transfer that dispatch call to a syndicated cop. He will come out and say, well, what are we supposed to do about it? We don't know who stole your property. Or if I can even identify somebody that I see walk up and out of here with my property or walking in the community with it, they'll deny it and say it's mine. Then that person will point the finger and say, I know where this bitch lives. She's crazy and out of her mind. She claims that me and her friends are gang stalking her, and I didn't steal her stuff. He'll then point out to the police where I'm living at, and the police will say, well, they're denying they stole your stuff, and you can't be camping here. You got to move. And then when he walks away, he will falsify an incident report about my mental stability, because it's the accumulated documentation over time that they need in order to take the syndicated probate control. When probate control is taken, the target individual is placed in a organized crime syndicated run group home, where they will then legally co-opt the target's finances, racketeering, their social security. The gang stalking continues in these syndicated run group homes. The target individual is blamed for inappropriate behavior that they're provoking. And then since they got syndicated probate control of the target, they will then tell the target, since your behavior is out of control, you got to go into county mental health and or a neighborhood area psychiatric floor, where they petition the state to do so. That is where the insurance fraud comes into play at, and the continued illegal, falsified, intentional mental diagnoses, because they got to make it look like the bilking of the Medicare and Medi-Cal is done legitimately to cover their ass, and because when the target is released from the hospital back into the home, they'll wait a month or two and then do the same thing again for the continued insurance fraud. And so they can try and make it appear that the syndicated probate control is still justified because of the continuing mental illness that caused the syndicated probate control. Hold on. So basically what they're doing is treating people like straw people. A number in order to, once they bring about these techniques that bring about the effects and the results, then they then use this documentation to make the target a ward of the state. They are then put in a syndicated run group home. Each one of these group homes house anywhere between 7 and 11 clients that they have co-opted their money from or applied for benefits in their name. Go to Google right now and type in how a woman, I forgot what state it was in. She had 4 mentally disabled individuals locked to boilers in a basement, okay? And she had them hid in a basement for over 10 full years so she could co-op their monthly Social Security checks. How did she even get syndicated probate control of them? Because she had murder on her record for starving a boyfriend by putting him in a closet and starving him to death. When she was caught, she also was caught with the identification cards of 50 other people that were on disability. It's a syndicate. And basically what they're doing is selling and buying. What they've been doing is buying information and sharing information and selling information about the vulnerable, the elderly, single women, single mothers, people on disability, veterans, which burns my ass up and down the road, that they're targeting veterans as well. They're targeting people with fixed incomes or people that are vulnerable with these techniques so they can bring about the end result, probate control, to either co-opt their existing finances and exploit their existing insurance or apply for benefits that will reap the same. It's racketeering, insurance fraud, and then the human trafficking that takes place of the target in these homes. And this is why the homelessness was created, but they need the documentation to do it. And the only way they can get these documentations is to bait the target to call the police based on provocations, psychological provocations, by when the target comes home and they realize that their stuff's been stolen or that their tent's been slashed up or stolen. Now, they provoke the target to do this by victimizing the target on a daily basis, by getting around them and repeating gang stalk everywhere they go, associating certain people to the gang stalking expedition, and then using those people to steal the target's property, believing that that will be the last straw that broke the camel's back. The target will pick up the phone and call the police concerning it, and since it's a syndicated cop answering the call, he'll play his role in the street theater. Street theaters are staged events. It's a term that you can Google to gang stalking. If I come back to this area, I am planning to move, and any of my property is damaged or stolen, it is to bait me to call the police, for these aforementioned reasons, and or to bait me to move faster than I am prepared to do so. Okay, and causing a target to move from place to place to place to place is their way to wear the target down financially, physically, physiologically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, because they want to put the target in a victimized mindset and keep them there on a daily basis. It's like breaking a dog or breaking a horse through abuse. Okay? When you break a horse through abuse, or a dog or a human being through abuse, they eventually disappear inside and say, okay, I can't take it no more. And these are the literal expeditions of gang stalking, because they want you to give up. They want you to run to them. The target will believe, well, if I just run to them and depend on them, everything will be okay. No, and never believe this lie if any target is watching this. If you run to them, they will just escalate, okay, the campaign towards you in order to achieve the original motivation of why you were targeted. Do you want to be human trafficked? Because that is one of their motivations for you. And pornography is another one. I'm in San Diego, California. I am making this prediction video concerning this method. If any event transpires here that causes the police to be called or causes me to move, I don't care how the police are called, by me or them or another third party that happens to magically be in the area as this event is unfolding. It will be gang stalking related, and I'm predicting it right now. Thank you for listening. This is a prediction video, and have a nice day.